Senate passes resolution to end U.S. role in Yemen war. The Senate just voted to end America's involvement in Saudi Arabia's war in Yemen, rebuking President Donald Trump and likely forcing him to veto the measure within days. Despite a Republican majority, the resolution passed by a 54-46 margin. It will now go to the U.S. helps the Saudi-led coalition's war effort by providing intelligence and selling arms and ammunition to fighters from Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates. Which means that and now, senators on both sides of the aisle think it's time to get out. This war is both a humanitarian and a strategic disaster, and Congress has the opportunity to end it, Sr. Bernie Sanders hyped the bill, co-sponsored Sanders along with Senators Mike Lee RUT. This was the second time the GOP-controlled Senate has voted on this bill. Last December, Wednesday's vote, then, was somewhat of a do-over for the bill's champions. And now that the House, that is, until Trump inevitably vetoes it, and it's not clear Congress has the numbers to override his veto. Last year, the set a vote to end U.S. involvement in the Yemen war would harm bilateral relationships in the region and negatively impact the ability of the United States to prevent the spread of violent extremist organizations. But the Washington-Riyadh relationship came under serious strain last October after the killing of Saudi journalist and dissident Jamal Khashoggi, who was a U.S. resident, was killed and allegedly dismembered inside Saudi Arabia's consulate in Istanbul. Senators, the brutality and brazenness of Khashoggi's killing seems to have changed many senators' calculations about the value of the U.S.-Saudi alliance. And pulling U.S. It didn't help that a briefing by two administration officials last week, meant to quell concerns about Saudi Arabia, failed to change lawmakers' minds. It was a complete waste. Now the Senate once again pushed back against Trump and Saudi Arabia in one fell swoop. But if they can't
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.